I haven't touched the car much this week. I don't know what I was doing, thinking, feeling, but just didn't get out here much this week. So it's Sunday, back out in the garage. And I'm really debating what I need to do to really get this thing at least running and driving to the point where I want it. So I know in my last video I asked, and I got a few comments back about if I should just go with my plastic fender flares and just rock those for a while, or if I should just go full tilt boogie. But I think it's going to be kind of a mix of things here. So I do have some stuff in the works. I did start laying this out with the templates here, and I'm betting that's what I lost video footage of, is that stuff on there. But I'll try to post up some pictures of how I had this laid out. And I think I'm just gonna hog this guy out. I'm gonna have a little fun with a Sawzall or something here, but we're just gonna hog this out. I'm not gonna reuse these fenders, so I can at least drive the car with fenders on it. Try to straighten this hood out a little bit. And I really think I'm gonna start cutting into those rear fenders. I'm gonna rip off the Band-Aid, as they say. I'm gonna stop talking, maybe do a little more thinking, and start doing. So here we go. Okay, I wasn't sure what I had recorded before. I just slopped these on very, very quick, just to give an idea of what I want to do for a fender flare. So again, keep in mind this is very, very sloppily done, but it's at least enough to show my concept. But I think it's going to look pretty gnarly. Alright, using that little cutoff reciprocating saw worked a lot better and a lot quicker. You saw how it just kind of went around there like butter. So I basically got this side hogged out, so other than moving that back fender edge forward, which I'm not going to do with this fender. This is kind of the quick down and dirty, especially since this fender is so rotten to begin with. And this is a side I'm just going to kind of work on to kind of build out my concept for a wire frame for making my fender flares. But I have a lot of ideas in here right now about kind of building my fender flares in and then having this scoop kind of go into them. But got a few ideas kind of bouncing around. Hopefully I can make something work. But I think I'm going to start cutting into this is going to be freaking scary, because as you know, this body is pretty solid for being a Minnesota car that's, it's a 91, so it's what, 34 years old now. God, getting old. But yeah, I think I'm going to kind of go with the same concept that I did with this practice front fender. I think I'm going to cut this lip off, save the lip, cut this fender flare out, and keep that inner fender well inside there intact, so I can use it to kind of build out to what this new fender flare will be. So I think that's next on the docket. Okay, so I made up my mind here. I actually put a piece of tape. I thought I'd try to maybe cut out spot welds, but there's got to be about 20 of them around here, and I think that's beyond what I really need to do. So I put a piece of tape in here to get past kind of the spot welds, and I put another piece of tape so it's up past where the fender So you got a lip here, and then it starts to bend back into that, to the flare. So I wanted to keep a little bit of substance there in case I want to use this to mimic anything. So we're gonna start cutting into this guy. First cut into a perfectly good body. Alright, so I recorded cutting out this quarter, and as I'm doing this and looking at it and cutting into it, I keep coming back to the thought of this was a perfectly good car before I started working on it. Oh well, I'm doing what I want to do, so we'll just keep plugging forward. So this is the work I did here. I ended up just cutting around and then up around here and just cut this lip section out there so everything's laying under this bike here. And then I ended up just completely cutting out this inner fender lip here since I'm not going to use it. So kind of what my thoughts are now is cutting slots in here so that I can start prying this out. At least that's my thought for now. And make some room for that big old tire here. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. You can see right inside the car there now. Crazy. What am I doing? What am I doing? Yeah, it was a good car before this. I shouldn't say that. It's still a good car. Just going to be way different when it's done. I did get this all cut out the fender lips, kind of cut it apart in about 2 or 3 different pieces. And I did run my little pneumatic saw up the side here. But now I'm kind of debating too if what I really want to do here, because I think I'm gonna put the fender flare up even higher. So I'm debating just kind of cutting this out kind of up to the top of where this is and getting that all kind of folded out.